Wait, they're not hot yet, right?
Does he really not know how to clip?
An aspiring M. Night Shyamalan over here. His movies are so hit or miss. It's crazy.
I haven't watched most of his recent ones. I've heard good things about whatever the most recent one was, but like I loved Signs when it came out.
You know that was filmed in my town where I grew up,
Was it really?
Newtown, Pennsylvania. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. A lot of it, for real. A lot of it was filmed in.
I knew it was in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I mean, when I saw it, I still lived in Pennsylvania. So
It was
like,
a
we knew
big
that.
thing because like Mel Gibson was in the town, for a while they filmed it, and everyone's like, "Hey, that's cool."
Uh, he was probably well liked in that area.
Say what you want about. Well, no, that town's pretty much split down the middle. I haven't pulled them on Mel Gibson, but as far as like what
Oh,
politically,
split. Oh yeah, I don't politically. I don't think Mel Gibson's political leanings matter so much. He's got some distaste for some other sects of people. So
I'm well aware. But let's not kid ourselves. One of the best actors and directors ever. Like his movies, Mel Gibson's
yeah,
movies are incredible.
I mean,
Incredible. Did
it's
you see
not even.
Hacksaw Ridge?
Did you see Beaver?
What's Beaver?
He made a movie with a beaver hand puppet.
All right. Well, I take back everything I said.
I'm 100% serious too.
He did a
Here,
wild movie called Dragged Across Concrete with Vince Vaughn.
Walter Black, the head of a failing toy company, is deeply depressed. His marriage to Jodie Foster is broken, and his oldest son, Porter, hates him. When Meredith finally throws him out of the house, Walter begins his tailspin. Drunk and alone, Walter is about to commit suicide, but is saved by the voice of a beaver puppet he found in a dumpster. Wearing the puppet on his hand, Walter speaks only through it and tries to get his life on track. There's not enough drugs on the planet for me to sit down and watch that for 90 minutes. Mel Gibson finds a fucking dumpster beaver.
It's called
He was
Beaver.
he was probably so messed up. It's probably not even a puppet. He probably just sticks his hand up a dead animal's ass and he's just walking around using its face.
No, Mel Gibson's the man. No one will ever convince me otherwise. I mean, even Daddy's Home 2 with Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell, great stuff. Oh, Jodie Foster was in this. Anyway,
Jodie Foster was in what?
The Beaver.
Oh yeah, I mentioned that.
Oh, happy to have you guys with us. Welcome to the Stokastic.com MLB strategy show. Bigger slate, much better slate than yesterday. Happy to have you guys with us. Take a single second if you don't mind. Hit that thumbs up. Atone for your sins this morning. Subscribe to the channel. Goes a long way for us. Follow Josh at Josh Engleman, me _D. Make sure to check out Josh's Odd Shopper live show here or on the Odd Shopper channel or on Twitter after this, immediately after this. Yeah. Anyway, 11-game slate. Bug Boy with a $20 super chat. Thanks, brother. Said, here's some money, fellas. And then he gave the middle finger to you, Josh, with a heart as well.
That's fair. Now I'm reading Mel Gibson's voicemail transcripts.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't great.
You should just effing smile and blow me because I deserve it.
I don't know how opposed to that one I am. The other ones were pretty rough, though.
That's so good.
Really, there's a million actors out there with, we're going to get into baseball right now, I promise. Million actors out there with like insane political leanings that I completely disagree with. I don't care. If they make a good movie, you couldn't convince me not to watch it. I don't care. I can suspend belief. That's why I'm watching a movie. So,
yeah, that's why I still listen to R. Kelly.
I don't, but not because he pissed on girls. I don't because I don't like R&B or whatever. But
you are very wrong.
Yeah. It's just the way it is. Anyway, 11-game slate.
I'll
Morning,
put you in a
everybody.
rose garden, you cunt.
Yeah,
This dude, man.
Melon off the
Woo.
deep end for a little bit for sure.
Oh my God. I told her you bury her in the rose garden. And people are like, oh, that Mel.
Oh. Anyway,
This is like the heart of when he was making that Beaver movie, too, I think. He was just off the reservation.
what a straight. I'm going to have to watch that movie. Got decent reviews.
Did you watch Passion of the Christ?
Yeah, in the theaters, in the Newtown theaters. It's
That must have been a fun theater experience.
one of the oldest theaters in America, as a matter of fact. I did. I went with my dad when we were kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never saw it.
I don't really remember it, but I'm pretty sure it's a highly acclaimed film.
I know the story, I know. I don't think there's a twist at the end. Iron Man doesn't save him.
All right, you ready to get into it?
Yeah, might as well.
All right, so 11 games. Where would you? I used to ask Bellman this when we'd start off shows, because I mean I have an answer, but curious to see where you're at here. Where would you, on a scale of say 1 to 10, where would you put pitching depth today? Like quality pitching, because I don't think it's that high.
2.5 at
Right?
best.
Right?
I mean, it's all pretty gross.
Tyler Phillips is getting 21. Granted, it's a good matchup. He's coming off a complete game. But at 8,400, he's getting north of 20%.
Yeah. I mean, we have 22, well, technically 21 pitchers right now. Not that it matters. 6 of them are in double digits in ownership. Joe Ryan makes sense. Spencer Schwellenbach, a little bit less so. Yusei Kikuchi, Tyler Phillips, Gavin Stone, and Randy Vasquez. That's the chalk that's carrying us to the win today. And I have basically only those guys, and really only 4 of them.
There's not a lot.
Luckily, my most exposed pitcher is in 72% of my lineups, and it just happens to be the one that's actually good and has the best matchup. So I'm just lock buttoning Joe Ryan.
I was going to say Joe Ryan against the White Sox here. It's pretty evident that this is the type of guy that you're going to want to get to a good amount of. Yusei Kikuchi making his Houston debut against Tampa. It's an okay matchup. It's not good. It's not terrible. Like I don't love Yusei Kikuchi today. I don't love Tyler Phillips. Like Tyler Phillips is not an elite strikeout pitcher. It's kind of what you're looking for in Seattle. I will say though, it's in Seattle. Philly just got swept by the Yankees at home. And this guy's coming off a complete game, 4-hit shutout against the Cleveland Guardians, which was an amazing pitch outing. So like I think it's fair to say he's decent. Like he's had 3 really good starts in his 4.
Yes.
Pretty good. But I don't really know if it matters today. You're basically going to have to get to some of him. I think Schwellenbach, do I agree with you that, yeah, okay, that ownership is up there, but I don't think it matters. He's facing a Miami team with fake people in the lineup. Yeah. You're just going to have to bite the bullet on some of these guys tonight. It's just the way it is. Yeah,
I didn't bite it on Schwellenbach. I did bite it pretty heavily on Yusei Kikuchi, but I do have a little bit of Schwellenbach. It's the guy. It's not so much. It's the guys that are around the ownership that are just like, okay, Cutter Crawford is the second most expensive pitcher on today's slate at 9,200, and he faces the Rangers. Well, we're probably not going to do that all that frequently. Kevin Gausman is there at 9,100, pulling like 5% ownership, but he has to face the Yankees. So that doesn't no one's advocating for that. Andrew Abbott is 8,900. You look at him against the Giants, this run total is close to 10 for the game. The park is terrible. That looks really rough. Brian Wu, no. Tyler Anderson, no. Dean Kramer, Kyle Harrison, Paul Blackburn, Joey. Like all of these, you're either just not looking at some of these names or you're only going to like 5 pitchers. God, this is disgusting.
It's gross. I mean, the only other one And you're right. Like Gossman, I know he's coming off that complete game, gave up 3 runs, but still had a huge game against Texas. Like Marcus Stroman, where are the strikeouts coming from there? He already doesn't get them. And now you go up against a low strikeout, his former team. Gavin Stone. Guy's been all over the map this year, but he's 7,600. He's facing Oakland in a pitcher-friendly park. Like, I think you're just going to get funneled into guys like Gavin Stone as well.
Yep. He's in 24% of my stuff right now. Matchup. I mean, I usually think that Oakland is a good matchup, but they do have a ton of power. It is a little scary. Park plays down power. Stone's like an average strikeout guy. The benefit to Gavin Stone is that he's 7,600. And given how good Joe Ryan looks, you kind of need to save some salary somewhere.
I'm getting a lot of Tyler Phillips right now. I'll tell you that much. A lot.
I have 4%.
I have a lot more than that.
Well, you're a homer.
The Sims are homers, I suppose. The Sims is a homer.
What? I don't see it at 8,400. Am I crazy?
I don't think you're crazy, but I also don't know how much different it is from Schwellenbach. I was going to say I don't know how much different it is from Kikuchi.
Okay, come on.
But it is.
Now you're being you're being silly.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, because the thing with Kikuchi is that he has the strikeout stuff. That's really all that matters in a spot like this. Now, granted, Phillips has a really good strikeout matchup, but also that Seattle team doesn't have the same amount of strikeouts they did like prior to a week ago.
Yeah, that's true. We have Phillips 19% top 2 pitcher. I have it 13, so I am a little lighter.
Where's Tampa striking out versus lefties? Okay, so yeah, this is kind of what I was alluding to. The 19%. No, I'm sorry. Did I get it wrong?
Probably.
Oh yeah, wow. Okay, so their active roster now. I was looking at Toronto. Their active roster now. Yeah, I take back everything I said. Kikuchi below Joe Ryan is probably the best pitcher on the slate. Their active roster versus lefties, 26.4% strikeout rate. That is the 3rd highest in the league, behind only Boston and Colorado. So
that trio of teams is kind of like tied at the top. They're all basically the same, and then there's like a giant gap. Yeah,
it's the same. You could say they're the number 1 really at this point. Yes. Okay. So Kikuchi, let me amend my previous comments. Kikuchi looks outstanding.
He does indeed. Yeah. I mean, I think Joe Ryan Kikuchi is the clear top 2 combo.
By the way, we work through this slate sometimes just as we're doing it on the show. That's the whole point of the strategy show. Live before lock, a little bit more refined. But
we're taking a lap through it all. There's nothing
Correct.
to gain from thinking we're smarter than everybody else at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Kikuchi over Phillips. Yes, for sure at this point.
Yeah,
for sure.
I don't think that's close.
Here's how I think Phillips is fine. Don't get me wrong. I do. But the lack of strikeout stuff actually concerns me, because I don't like these type of spots where, like, okay, so he's made 4 starts, right? Phillips.
Yeah.
He's made 4 starts and 3 starts, 4 appearances, but one of them was 4 innings. So I'll include that. He has 7 and 5 strikeouts. One was against Atlanta. One was against Oakland. Pittsburgh, he went 6 scoreless with 3 Ks, got the win. Cleveland, 9 innings, no runs, 4 strikeouts in 9 innings, allowed him to, be efficient. But if he starts giving up runs, I'm worried that you're not going to be able to be bailed out on strikeouts. That's an issue.
Oh, you're not.
You're not. Yeah.
19% K rate in AAA this year over 15 starts.
And I think
last year at AAA was 15.5. AA was 22. Like,
that's a problem.
We're talking league average as a ceiling.
At very best.
Like I said, as a ceiling. More likely he's like 17.
I understand what ceiling means. What I'm saying is, like, looking at those previous numbers, unless you make significant adjustments, I'm not even sure that is his ceiling.
No, I don't. I would agree.
I might actually, again, just kind of to revise where we're at looking through this, I might order them Ryan, Kikuchi, Schwellenbach. I know you have less of him, but dude, that's a great spot against Miami.
Yeah.
Strikeout stuff for him has looked very good lately. Then I might throw Stone in and then Phillips to round out the top 5.
I'm going to replace Phillips in the top 5.
I still think he's top 5 today.
You're missing out on a much better option. And it's not, I don't even, you'll agree with me when we're done.
Who? 6,100 Randy V?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Rockies on the road and on the opposite side. It doesn't take much after just knowing that information.
Yeah, you don't need much more analysis than that.
No, you really don't.
No. You're not getting quality strikeout stuff or anything like that from Vasquez, but it is an ideal matchup.
They're on the road, the Rockies, the active roster is striking out 26.5% of the time, and they have an 88 WRC plus.
So, and here's the crazy question. Are those the only 6 viable pitchers today? And if you include Phillips, just, humor me here and include Phillips. Are those
I only have one other pitcher in a lineup. And I only have 4% of Phillips. But Joe Ryan, 72, Schwellenbach, 12, Kikuchi, 46, Gavin Stone, 24, Randy Vasquez, 38. I have 8% split between 2 other guys. 4% to Phillips, 4% to Marcus Stroman.
Wow.
Let's
go down. Can we?
Look, we're clearly not talking about Jose Urena, Shane Baz, Austin Gomber, Carrasco, Davis Martin. I mean, there is just clear. Take your pen and draw a line through the name guys today.
That's what I was going to do right now. I was going to ask you about Brian Wu at 8,500. Just not at that price point, even though
Nope.
Philly's been shitty lately. Sean Anderson against Atlanta. Joey Estes against the Dodgers. Austin Gomber's just awful. And San Diego doesn't strike out anyway.
Yeah.
Dean Kramer against this team that doesn't K. Carrasco against Baltimore. Anderson against the Mets. I try not to, I want to make sure nobody feels shortchanged when they come in and watch this show. So this is why we're doing what we're doing. Like going through these names, Josh.
Right.
But yeah. Someone asked about Shane Baz. He outside of the 5 guys we talked about, he's getting the most ownership. Does he have a bleached blonde handlebar mustache in that?
I have no idea. I don't know what he looks like.
Or is that his real face? That's his real facial hair. Wow. Is he albino?
No.
What do you mean?
Well, he's not albino. I can see him.
Very interesting.
He just looks like a normal person.
What are you talking about? His mustache is completely white and his eyebrows aren't there.
Every picture he's wearing a hat and looks like a normal baseball player with like a blonde goatee.
You don't wear a hat over your mouth, dude. You look, the mustache is white. Look, I'm not hating on him. I wasn't sure if that was a style.
Well, either way, it's very clear he's not albino.
He's transitioning to albino.
I don't know if you're allowed to do that.
You can't just identify?
I mean, I guess you can. Yeah, why not?
I suppose, though, you have no interest in Shane Baz today.
Only if he's albino. But no, I do not. I am not looking to take a pitcher against the Astros.
I don't love it. Guy's got strikeout stuff, but I don't know if it's enough. I don't think it is.
This is a bizarre pitching slate. Like you're
Truly
gonna open
bizarre.
it up, and the lineup in first is gonna be Dean Kramer, Cutter Crawford, and you're gonna be like, oh, cool, I was never winning today.
The only 6 pitchers I have, and this is well, if you're not including like 3% or less, okay? It is Ryan Kikuchi, Schwellenbach, Phillips, and Gavin Stone. Also Randy Vasquez. That's it. Pretty much it. And you know what? I'm fine with that. I love trying to unearth some good value pitching. Like, hey, this guy's not bad. The matchup is kind of underrated, going overlooked. I don't think I could give you one of those guys today at all. The only one would be is if you're trying to get wild in a large field tournament. Kevin Gausman has a very high ceiling. Like if Kevin Gausman just comes out there and strikes out 10, which is doable.
Yep.
Then he's the guy. Like he's the guy you want. If Ryan stinks and Schwellenbach and Phillips just Kikuchi, all of those guys are just and Gausman comes out and just dominates because he's somebody that you roster him and you just don't watch the game until you're a couple innings in. It's like the old Francisco Liriano days. If Francisco Liriano, walks the first batter, your day's over. But if he strikes him out in 3 pitches, you're like, all right, this guy's about to go 7 scoreless with 10 Ks.
He was so good.
He was, but he was so unpredictable. So unpredictable.
For a stretch, he wasn't. He was just predictably amazing.
I'm talking, somewhat towards the end. But Kevin Gausman would be the only other guy that I'd probably consider in this spot. Is there anybody else you'd consider in this spot?
Now you got me looking at Liriano. That was 2010. I lived here. Oh my God, he's so much older in my brain.
Oh yeah, but he was still pitching in like 2014, 2015,
2019. All
the way up to that.
He pitched for the Pirates in 2019. Wow, his career was so not as good as I remember it.
No. That's what I'm saying. He was super inconsistent, really inconsistent.
In my mind, his peak is so much higher.
He was a good pitcher when it's going to sound stupid.
His 5.5 win season only had a 24.5% K rate. I would have guessed so much higher. Like I would have changed all of these numbers in my mind.
We don't have time for this, but here's what I'm saying. When he was good, he was really good. Like if you were to go through his game logs, you'd see these crazy starts and then the next one would be terrible, disastrous. And then the next one was great. You just never knew with him. Interesting guy.
Very.
He was with Pittsburgh for a lot longer than that, though. I think he came back to Pittsburgh, but he was with Pittsburgh. I remember he was with Pittsburgh in 2014 because I was with Fantasy Insiders and we went down to Dave Kitchen's house and all stayed there in Tennessee. And a couple of us had Francisco Liriano in our lineups and it ended very poorly. Remember that vividly, and that was a decade ago.
It feels like another life.
It does. Any other maybe upside spots? I mentioned Gausman. I don't think it's crazy, but I'm also
there's no justification to talking about pitching.
Let's talk about some bats then. Let's go ahead and do it. And by the way, guys, you ever want to test out any of these tools for yourself? The single entry sim, man, we had some fun with that yesterday, huh? We'll do that again today. Single entry sim, we'll build a lineup, sim it, see how it turns out. Or the overall sims where you can sim up to 10,000 lineups, generate up to 10,000 in the contest generator. If you ever have questions on this and you're like, what the hell is he talking about? Maybe you're new to the channel. Hit me up on Twitter, Loughy_D, LOUGHY_D. It's right there. Hit Greg up, check out the videos, the tutorials right here on the channel. You ever want to try any of our other tools, ownership, player projections, top stack, boom bust tool for other sports, top pitchers tool, top hitters tool, everything. We have everything that you need. Best tools you're going to find out there. Can try them for a week, can try them for a month. You can do the lineup generator a la carte by itself if you'd like. Any way you want to do it. But I think the single lineup sim is going to appeal to a lot of people who Don't need 150 lineups. Don't need 50, 100 lineups.
It's so good, dude. It's so good.
Also fun. Let's
Yeah,
talk some bats.
it's the best way to build a lineup.
Yeah, it's the way to hand build in 2024 and going
No,
forward, pretty much.
no doubt.
I
No
feel
doubt.
confident that we've revolutionized that process. Anyway, a lot of pitchers we didn't want to talk about, which means that there's going to be a lot of stacks that kind of stand out. Dodgers have Estes, Minnesota has Davis Martin, Mets have Tyler Anderson, who has kind of defied the odds for most of this season. I'm not really sure what to make of that fella because he shouldn't be producing the way he is. Yet almost every time Tyler Anderson goes out there, if you stack against him, you're going to be wildly disappointed. So, keep that in mind, whether or not you want to, try and buy into the regression or not is up to you. Baltimore against Carrasco, Atlanta against Anderson. Even Cincy at home against Kyle Harrison to me is an interesting spot because while Harrison isn't bad, Cincy's much better against lefties than they are against righties.
I'm sorry, I can't. Jordan ruined the show.
What do you do?
I sent us this video, and here's the tweet. A woman believed to be under the influence of drugs caused a stir at an airport by demanding sex from the passengers. And I played the video, and I'm at 42-second mark, and she's wearing only a bra. One of her boobs is hanging out. This is the middle of a fully packed airport. Security is holding her. She has no pants on, so she's sort of dressed like a cartoon dog, and she's like vigorously handling herself.
Oh, I've seen this one. I've seen this. Yeah, it's yeah. Yeah, that was concerning.
She's I'm not gonna keep saying what she's doing. What were you saying? Blame Jordan. You had no reason to text me this during the show.
That's like remember when bath salts were around? That's that type of like synthetic drug reaction or something crazy.
I mean, that's a good reaction. Like, there are worse ways. Like, if I'm at the airport and I run into a one boob out, no underpants gal holding herself to me, I'm not going to react super negatively.
No, you may even react positively.
I'm not going to react positively.
What I was saying, as we get back to baseball here, is I even think Cincinnati against Kyle Harrison's somewhat interesting. Facing a lefty at Great American.
Yeah.
I listed off a bunch of other teams as you spent 42 seconds watching some naked broad in an airport. But the point being, there are a lot of viable stacks today. While there are only, say, 6 viable pitchers, that's just going to open things up immensely as far as bats go.
Yeah, for everything that we couldn't say about pitchers, it's the exact opposite for stacks today. I have 10 teams with at least 5% exposure to. There's a justification for most of this slate today.
Pretty
and
much.
It's so with pitching, and you're looking at it and you're like, all right, we have 5 options and you're really not deviating. Here it's like, you want to tell me it's the Yankees, the Reds, the Giants, the Orioles, the Braves, the Marlins, the Rangers, the Twins, the Mets, the Mariners, the Dodgers, even the A's. I could believe all of it today. Do we want to talk about what you got out of your sim and what I got?
Yeah, Clayton said that lineup builder is the shit, which is kind of cool because Clayton already has the sims and started using this one as well. That's cool. The lineup builder is the shit. I built one with a -14 ROI, made 2 adjustments, went to +26 ROI, and 10x'd my money. That's awesome, dude.
That's what we're looking to see.
That's awesome. Vince, it is in there. I think it's with the core package. So look on the core package, you'll see it. Matthew, are there tools for over-unders? On OddsShopper there are. And I think there's still 30 minutes left of the 50% off for all of our betting tools over at OddsShopper. I think didn't we start that at noon? Oh no, 11. So it's probably up. You can check that. Links to everything in the description. But yes, as far as bats are concerned, you're just looking at a lot of. All right, so we don't want the White Sox against Joe Ryan. Colorado doesn't do much for me, although it wouldn't surprise me if they teed off on Vasquez because, it's just one of those days. And
They shelled him twice at the beginning of the season.
did they?
He pitched two of his first 4 starts were against Colorado, and they didn't go well for Randy Vasquez, but that was 3 months ago.
Randy Vasquez has also been much worse against lefties. There's really just not outside of Blackman and McMahon. What are you worried about there?
Nothing.
And I'm not even saying you're worried about those guys, but you get where I'm going. Like he has
the highest projected WOBA in the Colorado lineup is 319. And just in case anybody is curious, because if you need some context, 311 is league average.
It's really bad. 434 x WOBA for Vasquez against lefties. 212 x ISO. Against righties, 325 x WOBA, 176 x ISO. If you're not playing Vasquez, I'm not opposed to like the McMahon or Blackman one-offs there at all. Really not. He's legitimately been bad against lefties this year. But
yeah, this would be a slightly scarier scenario if the park factors were flipped. It's 125 to righty power and 101 to lefty. If that was 125 to lefties, then you would start to look at someone like Charlie Blackman and Ryan McMahon and think like, oh, that's a great 2-man.
Very good point. Yeah. And if they had maybe one more good lefty in there.
Yep.
You start looking at the 3-man stacks, but do you have interest in San Diego against Austin Gomber on the other side?
They're the only team there's 2 teams that I don't have a single share of. San Diego is one of them. Now, to be clear, I would not mind having San Diego. They have real human beings, but it's a weird lineup. It's not as strong as it normally is. That like Profar, Bogarts, Machado outfield second, third trio looks really good. And if you want to get Higashioka in as a 3K catcher and try to buy a home run, I think that works. I don't like the rest of San Diego all that much.
I've got a lot of Atlanta right now.
They are my number 1 stack.
Against Sean Anderson. This is a guy who...
Against Valente Belozo.
Oh, is it Belozo?
That's what I'm seeing.
Okay, maybe it changed. Hold on, let me just make sure.
Fangraphs has Belozo.
They do, huh?
Yeah.
What a name.
MLB.com has Belozo.
All right, so it changed. Got it. Or
for the record, not changing anything other than making it better because Belozo's bozo.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm afraid to fart right now.
How do you spell his name?
Bellozo. I mean, exactly like it sounds. Like one of the most phonetic names I've ever seen.
Well, no, because he's not in the player pool on DraftKings.
No, he's not.
That's why I asked, because I had Bell in there. Then I went Bel. Then I tried Bal, and I said, that doesn't make sense.
No, right. Well, you can type in whatever you want. He's not going to show up.
Well, he's pitched, though, this year in the majors.
They sent him down July 8th, and he's been down since. I think it's July 8th. If it's July 8th, that's crazy, because I looked at that date in passing like 30 minutes ago.
But I feel like they just always keep those guys in the player pool if they pitch.
It's DraftKings. I'm surprised they're not going to make us pay a fucking tax to roster him today.
Yeah. Yeah, this spot looks pretty decent. He's allowed, 1.82 home runs per 9 at AAA this year.
Do you want to build a 5-man Brave stack in the tool?
Let's try it. Yeah. Yeah, let's build a 5-man Brave stack.
I think that's more fun than anything else we're going to do.
Agreed. Let's do it.
Okay. Let's start with the 5 Braves that we want.
You want to start bats over pitching? Okay. And then we're going to put pitching in, I think, and then we can fill out the stack. Okay.
I think stack pitching filler is the cleanest path here if we want to take Atlanta. Now, obviously, 1 through 5 looks the best. I think $3,700 Travis d'Arnaud is a guaranteed has to be in the lineup.
At that price point, yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you're wondering, Jordan has the single lineup sim pulled up from Stochastic. So we'll build this out, then we'll sim it, right?
Yeah.
And we'll see what the result. Hopefully they're positive.
I have 2 recommendations here. I want to get your thoughts.
Go.
I'd like to go Matt Olson, lefty righty against Belozo. He's Matt Olson. I don't think there's a lot of justification for that one. And Jared Kelenic saves us a little salary, 3,800. Further down in the order, at least right now, could potentially be higher in the order later, but you get another lefty righty matchup.
No problem targeting the platoon advantage here whatsoever.
And
so
now take it for the other 2. I mean, obviously Austin Riley's sitting there. Obviously Marcelo Ozuna's sitting there.
We have d'Arnaud, we have Olson, Kelenic, and who else? Did you have another one?
That's it. Just those 3.
Okay.
So we have catcher, first, outfield checked off, which I like. Is a really good start, I think.
All right. Also, we haven't spent that much money. So
no. Jordan Kelenic is an outfielder.
Soler, Riley, Ozuna up top.
I'm guessing we probably want 2 of those 3.
We already have the 4, 5, and 8 hitters.
I think Riley should be one of them since it's third base and then one of the 2 outfielders, but I'm open.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I'm just wondering, like, does getting to Riley or Ozuna make it so that we can actually go to one of these cheaper guys towards the bottom of the order and just be different with a Brave stack? I don't know if it's necessary.
I don't think it's super necessary given the ownership, even with them being the number 1 owned team.
All right, so let's go. We have d'Arnaud, we have Olson, we have Kelenic. Let's go Riley. Can we fit Ozuna?
Let's do it and let's find out.
All right.
All right, so pitching.
For me, the first guy going in is Vasquez here at the price.
I agree.
Okay. Gives us 52.
And I think if we're going to Atlanta, our best bet is to not go to Joe Ryan.
I'm fine with that. Honestly, I wouldn't hate going to Kikuchi given what we talked about earlier.
Let's do that then.
Oh, that gives us 4,100 remaining. So far, I really like this lineup.
All right. Do you know what your second most exposed stack is?
Like after my Sims run?
Yeah. Like, do we have a 3-man or a 2-man that we want to go to?
I have some Toronto. I have some Mets. All of this, though, it's not like so many of these are just flat exposure down the line. So I'm not, I don't hate Cincinnati, but really we should be looking at which of these stacks are going to benefit us given the positions we have open. We have second base, shortstop, and an outfield spot.
All right, let's take a look. What do we have out there for shortstops right now? And maybe we can find somebody to pair with. So best shortstop on the day is Lindor, but he's 5,600. So that becomes a little bit more problematic.
I love Ellie, but we're not fitting him. I love his spot against the lefty.
How do you feel about, oh, okay, there's no power there. I was going to say Willie Castro leading
He's
off
my
highest
exposed shortstop right now is Willie Castro.
All right, let's put Willie Castro in.
Yeah, I love Ellie, but that price point is really prohibitive. I do have 7% of him for what it's worth, so I'm slightly above the field on Ellie.
Jordan, we're going to try to get Willie Castro into that shortstop spot, so we need to pick second first, so it's filled and he can actually go in there. So do we want another twin then? So we have second base.
Why can't he just click on shortstop and put it in?
It's a bug right now.
Okay.
And I don't think that it got fixed since live before lock last night.
Okay.
So we need to find a second baseman. So second baseman. There isn't another second baseman for the Twins. So we could use Castro at short. We can get Max Kepler. Well, that could be 1-2 from the Twins lineup. Kepler, lefty, righty against Davis Martin. Looks great. Only 3,900. I kind of like that a lot. And then we can basically get the best second baseman we want.
As long as he's in the lineup, I'm perfectly fine with it. He left on Wednesday.
Okay. Well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. All right. We need it. How much salary do we have left, Jordan? Does that say 8,400? So Castro's 4,500. So we have 3,900 for a second baseman.
Okay.
And it can be anybody. Best 39. Do you want to go Xander Bogaerts? He's 3,900 on the dot.
Sure.
Padres
Man, it's tough.
against.
It sucks that we can't get another Minnesota bat in there.
Yeah, it's not even feasible. Well, I mean, technically Brooks Lee can go in there, but we don't need
I'm
the
talking
hitter
like
from Minnesota. I'd rather have Xander Bogaerts than Brooks Lee.
All right, let me see who we have. We have 39. This
Jordan, click on Castro and Xander Bogaerts for these final two spots.
Oh, dude,
we'll see
Bogaerts against Austin Gomber today. I'm 100% in on that. Yeah.
And this will spend all 50K of our salary.
Bogaerts, my third most exposed second baseman, by the way, Josh. And if you don't include Willie Castro, he's my second. So, yeah.
Perfect.
Whit Merrifield, I actually have the most of at the position, 2,900. But also because he's on the Braves. If he's hitting ninth, All right, Bogaerts, I love it.
Jordan, go to the Minnesota game. I don't know what you're doing right now. Where is Castro?
All right, type something in search and delete it.
Something is definitely wrong with the MPEs, and we need to get it fixed immediately. Take Xander Bogaerts out.
Brand new tool, by the way. We just launched this, like soft launched a couple days ago. So,
all right. So Castro shows up, but he's not showing up as a short. The second position is just broken right now.
So this is an MPE thing. You're right.
Yeah. So put Castro in at second for right now.
And we'll just pick a different shortstop.
And yeah. So we have how much money for shortstop? 30 what? Okay. This needs to get fixed today. So we need to make sure that we get this messaging out.
We'll let him
3,900 for a shortstop?
Yeah.
Xavier Edwards is the best one that I see.
Yep. Fourth most.
That's against Schwellenbach.
I think Edwards is probably fine.
Yeah, I agree. We don't have Schwellenbach, so that's fine. So yeah, grab Xavier Edwards.
You're getting, and obviously we'd like Bogaerts here, but if you're getting 3,900 for a leadoff bat, I don't have any issues with that. Also, real stolen base ups. Well, enough stolen base upside. All right, let's do it.
Apparently we can't. Is Edwards just not there now, Jordan?
This guy.
All right.
Hold on. Do this. Don't just do this. Refresh it. Just refresh it. And we're going to build it real quick. Take 2 seconds. Yeah.
I would give anything to just take over from Jordan here. All this fucking stray clicking and everything. Oh my God, it's driving me nuts.
Ready? Jordan, here we go. We're going to do this fast. All right. We're going to do this fast. Oh. Yeah. Reset it. And then refresh it. Because I don't see how else it's going to work. Randy Vasquez, Yusei Kikuchi at pitching. I mean, first make sure Xavier Edwards even shows up.
Yeah, let's put in all the guys that were a problem.
There we go. Okay.
I think it's still going to fail, but we'll see.
Willie Castro. See if old Willie pops up. All right. Now Darno, Travis Darno, Olson, Riley, Kelenic, Ozuna, and Kepler. You did KE? All right, so there's a bug then.
Yeah, cool.
What we should do is get off the show right now and make sure this gets fixed within the next hour.
I think we should do that right now.
Appreciate you guys. Sorry, look, this just tool just lost. This is good. This is good. This is why we did this. I mean, it's not good, but it's good that we did this. Let's go. Let's talk to these guys. We'll get this squared away. And damn, I really wanted to see what that lineup looked like. I guess we have to wait until Monday. Wait, can you just scroll to Kepler? He's 3,900. Why do you think that's even happening, Josh?
I have no idea.
So last time Kepler showed up, but Xavier Edwards didn't. So what is it? Just the last guy in or something? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm letting everybody know now, right now.
Okay. Well, sorry about that, guys. Anyway, hopefully we broke down enough of this. And if you have the tools yourself, you can use them. Appreciate you guys hanging out. We'll be back with you, Josh and I, Monday. But you got Live Before Lock tonight. You got it all throughout the weekend as well. I'm working on some football stuff. Hall of Fame game was fun yesterday before it just ended because of rain. But
it ended because of rain?
Yeah, because no one gives a shit. No one's gonna wait in the concourse for a meaningless game. But I was on over 30.5 points, Josh, for the game. We hit it in the first half.
There you go.
But we'll take it. Anyway, appreciate you guys. We'll see you back here. Sorry about that. We'll get it fixed for any of you guys using that tool for sure. We'll see you. Josh and I specifically will see you back here on Monday. Peace.